Let's cross live now to Hassan Ahmadian. He's Assistant Professor of West Asian Studies at the University of Tehran. Sir, thanks so much for joining us. Now, we just heard there that Iran has pledged to retaliate against Israel, of course, for that recent airstrike. But Iran's ambassador to the UN has said that, but how will they do that? And how could their response look like?
Well, we don't exactly know how they will do that. How will they pull it off? There are scenarios to be taken into account. But what's certain is that there is something coming, because what's at stake for Iran here is its deterrence. When it comes to Israel, deterrence means a lot for Iran, because deterrence is about containing the threat the Iranians see in Israel and its regional policy and posture. And with the erosion of that deterrence, Iran's national security will be at stake. So there's a lot to be dealt with. As such, I think that there will be something coming. Now, we don't know what exactly, but taking the strategic culture of Iran into account, strategic proportionality has always been the case. So the Iranians will try to retaliate on the same level somewhere outside, I suspect, Israel, because the Israelis crossed a line, but they also, because of their knowledge of Iran's proportionality, they didn't do it within Iran. So I think the Iranians will stick to that as well, because that's basically in line with this mentality of our strategic culture of strategic proportionality, basically.
You know, Hassan, we've seen pretty much a lot of tensions in the region rising. We know Iran is in support of the Palestinians. Maybe more aggressively, we have, of course, now Hezbollah in Lebanon. We have the Houthis in Yemen. I'm not putting Iran in that category, by the way, just to clarify. But are we seeing tensions rising, and could these escalations perhaps really affect the situation in the region?
Well, I think that all depends on how the Israeli military campaign on Gaza continues, and how this escalation on its borders can basically, it's in connection, direct connection with what's going in Gaza. Hezbollah and Ansarullah of Yemen both have, their leaders both have spoken about this policy of mirroring what Israel is doing. So when its military campaign escalates in Gaza, their attacks on Israel also escalate. What brings these groups, and also countries such as Iran, to some extent Syria, together is resistance. And resistance here means containing a threat they all see and feel when it comes to Israel. And because one strategic ally is under immense pressure, they are trying to stop that pressure in one way or another. So when Israel escalates in Gaza, you could see that escalation is also comes in the border, in its northern borders with Lebanon, and also from Ansarullah in Yemen, in the Red Sea, and of course that can escalate. Also, we see in Iraq as well. In Iraq, there have been attacks on positions that the positions of the United States forces, its bases, and that's very much in line with what's happening in Gaza. During the ceasefire, we saw the prisoner exchange.
Hassan, I'm sorry to interrupt. Sadly, we've run out of time. I'm going to take this quickly to thank you very much for joining us here today on RT. A pleasure talking to you there. Thanks again.